Hey guys, welcome to Quinn's Tree Farm, coming to you straight through the power of YouTube right from Cornville, Maine. Battling the elements today. I got the sun over there and I got the wind coming that way. So luckily I have these microphones and I'm hoping they're gonna help us a lot today. I want to get right into the Flail Mower that I picked up from a friend of mine. So it's a new to me Flail Mower, but it's got plenty of life left in it. So I want to show you that, and I want to explain to you why I think it's absolutely essential for any Christmas tree farmer out there. So stick around and let's get to work. This is the Betstco FHM EFG125 48-inch flail mower. This particular model has hammer blades and not Y blades, and the hammer blades are made for cutting bigger woody stuff. They say up to 2 inches. I would never dare to cut 2 inches with it, but there have been some people on the YouTube that have, and more power to them. The way that it works is there's we'll get underneath and I'll show it to you, but there's basically it looks like a rototiller kind of, except it's instead of tines it's got these hammers, and it spins against the flow, against the grain, so to speak. So it's like when you're shaving, you go against the grain. It's the same thing with the hammer blades. They go against the grass, so if you're going that way, it kind of goes this way. And the way that works is it spins all the stuff up in there and it gets mulched out, and then it lays a much better layer of mulched up grass and choppings and things like that on the ground. So it's closer to a finish mower in cut from what I've seen than it is a rotary cutter, which spins and lays everything down. Maintenance. Takes 80 to 90 weight gear oil, and the reason I know that is there's a nice big sticker there. It's got some lubrication points for your grease. You have 2 points on each side, one here and one down here, and then you have a point over on the shaft over there. Let's look at the belts. There are 2 belts in here, and I'm going to talk to you about the first issue I've had with this piece of equipment. And I don't know if it's beholden to this one or if it's a problem that Betstco has. So it comes with 2 belts, and those spin around and it turns the machine. The problem that I'm having here, and you can see here where the paint's rubbing off, and I don't know what the issue is, but I discovered it because of the change in paint. So the paint's faded, and you can see the original color. Well, I noticed when I was mowing that the guard would start looking like this. And one time I backed up and smoke was just bailing right out of the belts. Like it was like a drag race strip, just all kinds of rubber smoke coming out of it. I went and touched this and I about burned myself. And what's happening is the guard is shifting and it's ending up rubbing that belt. So ultimately that belt is going to break. And I'm not sure why it's doing that. I don't know if it's vibrating to the point where it's slipping. It seems to be quite tight, or if somehow something's shifting here causing it to spin. I'm not sure. I wonder if it's just vibrating a little bit loose and vibrates to that point. Things I try to stay away from, and it seems like it helps to keep it from doing that, is raising it up while it's spinning. And then I'm not sure if backing up with it. They say don't back up with it. That could be the issue too. But it's definitely something to look out for, because it's going to end me one of these days when one of those belts goes, and then I don't have a flail mower for a little while. Okay, so this is the underside view, and as you can see, it's got these hammers. And the way this works is it spins around like that, and those hammers just come down and get everything taken care of, including string and twine, which is bad for it. They're all interchangeable, so you can swap these out with Y blades or new hammers, so that's good. And as you can see, they do dull down over time right there. But that's really about the size of the undersize of it. I'm missing one here somewhere. Fell off. And then you have the roller that just rolls out after underneath. And that's it. It's a very simple machine. Yeah, right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I lost a couple over here. So we need to get those fixed. But for the interest of mowing the field right now, it's not a big deal. As you can see here, you can set heights. So it says it can go from 0 to 6 inches or whatnot. I've just left it. And then the other thing that I do is I set the 3-point hitch. I'll show you that. And then I have the 3-point hitch is a little bit long. And what that has done, I found, is it keeps the skid plate up a little bit, and it is less apt to dig into the ground. And in a nutshell, that's the Betstco FHM EFG125. Now I started the first time because I was really excited to use it. I started with the bucket on. That weighs 515 pounds according to the manufacturer's specifications. Like any of the big attachments, the big heavy attachments, you're light in the front end. I took the bucket off and I added these suitcase weights. I was pretty thrifty, and the old Yanmar tractor that came with the farm that doesn't run anymore because the transmission's bad and there's none of those anymore on the earth, had these weights on there. I think they're 70 pounds. I'm not sure. But I definitely think 2 more, and if I get this up to like 280 pounds or so on the front, that would be really helpful. Even these two are a remarkable difference. So let's go see what the flail mower does, and I'll talk about the advantages of it and why I think it's worth spending the money on a flail mower. It's twice as expensive as a bush hog, but it's definitely worth the investment. Okay, so one of the first things is it's much shorter, and it has a much smaller profile on the rear end than the bush hog, right? So you can just tell right off the bat that sticks out easily twice as far as the flail mower, not including the wheel on the back that's even further. So you're just so much more maneuverable when you're using a flail mower. The second thing is the cut that it leaves. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So as you can see, in my opinion, it leaves a much more even cut, and it leaves a cut that is closer to a finish mower. The other thing is, and let's see if we can find some. Let's go through. I know I got some here somewhere. Oh, tripped and fell. Oh yeah, right here. See all that stuff on the ground? See this stuff here? These wood filings, these wood branches and things like that? It chops them up a lot better. Oh, here's a good example. So last year a tree was cut somewhere in this neck of the woods, and the flail mower has a tendency to go right over it and kind of grind it up. Now the reason I like that is because I really want to get that stuff, I want to keep it in the field. Any organic material that stays in the field is good for the field. That's why right now I like the flail mower better, those reasons. The reason the 4-foot is great is because I can do all kinds of row work with it. When I become a successful tree farmer, I want to get a bigger tractor. I know I've talked about getting something along the lines of a 4066, something between a 50 and 75 horse tractor that I can do all the big stuff with, but I'm not going to have to worry about taking it through the rows, because that 48-inch width of the 1025 is really helpful. If I keep that to be strictly a mowing machine with the attachments on the back, the weights on the front, I think it will be very helpful. You've heard enough of me talk. You don't want to sit here and listen to me talk all day. Let's go ahead and see what this thing does, all right? Okay, so that is the introduction to the Betstco FHM EFG, lots of letters, 125, 48-inch flail mower. No doubt we'll be seeing a lot more of that, but I thought it was a good introduction. We got side of that field mowed. What the plan is going to be is we're going to end up, well actually I already did. I sprayed the rows and then we mow the open areas. As you can see, there's a ton of leftover branches and things like that. That's all from our basil pruning that I did this spring. I would like to think that some of that grass will take off and maybe do a better job covering. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to overseed that. Wicked windy out tonight, so I gotta deal with that. But yeah, don't feel bad tonight. And you know, I'd really rather feel bad in Maine than feel good anywhere else. So there you go, my friends. I'll see you soon.
Ah.